Football is a game of giants, but some sleep longer than others. And when they wake up, watch out. English football has seen power shifts over the decades, but right now, one club is sending shockwaves through the Premier League. A team once mocked, now feared. A club that has gone from sleeping giant to unstoppable force. Who are they? And how did they rise from the ashes? This is not just a story of revival, it's a story of dominance. A club that has clawed its way back from the depths of mediocrity to sit among football's elite once again. The doubters laughed, the critics sneered, but the results speak for themselves. A force has been unleashed, and English football may never be the same again. The painful years, a sleeping giant in chains. Before the rise, there was suffering. This club wasn't always a powerhouse. It endured decades of struggle, living in the shadows of more successful rivals. There were times when fans dreaded match days, knowing their team would be outclassed and humiliated. The glory days were nothing but distant memories, relics of a time when they once ruled English football. Instead of fighting for titles, they fought for survival. Financial mismanagement, poor leadership, and short-sighted decision-making turned them into a shell of what they once were. Managers came and went, each promising a fresh start, yet delivering nothing but heartbreak. Star players left, unable to turn things around on their own, and those who stayed became part of a culture of mediocrity. Hope was fading fast, and many wondered if they would ever rise again. The turning point, a bold vision for the future. Every great comeback starts with a moment of clarity, a realization that change is not just necessary, but inevitable. For this club, that moment came when the right people took charge. Whether it was a new owner, a visionary sporting director, or a manager with an unbreakable belief in success, something shifted. The club stopped looking for quick fixes and started building for the long haul. A clear vision was set in motion. Rebuild from the ground up. Instead of signing big names for short-term gain, they focused on sustainable growth. Investment in infrastructure, scouting, and player development took priority. The club was no longer just surviving, it was preparing to thrive. Fans could feel the shift, and though success wasn't immediate, the foundation was being laid for something special. The recruitment masterstroke, building a team of warriors. A football team is only as good as the players on the pitch, and this club made sure to get the right ones. Gone were the days of overpriced flops and panic buys. Instead, they adopted a ruthless, data-driven approach to recruitment. They identified players who fit their philosophy, hungry, talented, and ready to give everything for the badge. It wasn't just about spending big, it was about spending smart. They found hidden gems, players who had been overlooked by bigger clubs, but possessed world-class potential. They balanced experienced leaders with young, dynamic talents, creating a squad that was not only competitive, but terrifyingly efficient. The transformation was undeniable. This was no longer a team of misfits. It was a team of warriors. The tactical evolution, a new identity takes shape. A club's identity is defined not just by the players, but by the way they play. Under their new leadership, this team found a style that suited them perfectly. Whether it was high-pressing chaos, counter-attacking precision, or possession-based dominance, they committed fully to a philosophy that played to their strengths. But tactics are nothing without discipline. Every player knew their role, every movement was rehearsed to perfection. They no longer played with fear, they played with authority. Opponents couldn't predict them, couldn't contain them, and most importantly, couldn't stop them. What once seemed like a hopeful project was now a well-oiled machine designed to win at all costs. Statement wins, crushing the Premier League's elite. Respect in football isn't given, it's earned. And this club earned it the hard way. They didn't just climb up the table, they made statements. They dismantled former champions, humiliated longtime rivals, and silenced the doubters with performances that left the football world stunned. It wasn't just the wins, it was the manner of them. They outplayed, outran, and outfought the biggest teams in the league. The message was clear. They weren't here to take part. They were here to take over. Pundits started calling them title contenders, and fans across the league began to fear what they were becoming. The psychological shift, from underdogs to predators. Perhaps the biggest transformation wasn't tactical, it was mental. This was a club that once expected failure, a team that went into big games hoping for a lucky break. But not anymore. They no longer saw themselves as underdogs. They saw themselves as predators. That shift in mindset changed everything. Players played with swagger, with an unshakable belief that they could beat anyone. Confidence turned into dominance, and dominance turned into an unstoppable winning mentality. The best teams in the world have that aura, the feeling that no matter what happens, they will find a way to win. And now this club had it too. An unbeatable home ground. A team is only as strong as its fortress, and this club made sure their stadium became a nightmare for opponents. Once a place where rivals felt comfortable, it was now an intimidating cauldron of noise and passion. The fans played their part, creating an atmosphere that made visiting teams crumble under pressure. Very few teams could survive the storm that awaited them. The future superstars, young talents shaping a dynasty. Sustainable success isn't built on veterans alone. It requires fresh blood. This club wasn't just signing superstars, they were creating them. A new generation of young talents was emerging, groomed for greatness. Academy prospects were breaking into the first team, showcasing the club's long-term vision. These weren't just players, they were future legends in the making. With every passing season, they got stronger, hungrier, and more determined to write their own history. The European ambitions, ready to conquer the continent. Dominating domestically was just the first step. Where they would face the titans of football. Could they handle the pressure? Could they go toe-to-toe with the best? The world was watching. Every victory made the dream feel closer. Every setback only fueled their hunger. This wasn't just about winning trophies. It was about carving their name into football history. The footballing world reacts, admiration and fear. Footballing legends started taking notice. Former players praised their rise. Rival managers admitted their dominance. And fans of other clubs either admired them or feared them. The landscape of English football was shifting, and everyone knew it. Some called it a fluke. Others saw it as a changing of the guard. The balance of power had shifted, and the world was witnessing the birth of a new footballing dynasty. The financial revolution, smart spending, big rewards. Money doesn't guarantee success in football, but spending it wisely can change everything. This club didn't just throw cash at the problem, they built a financial model that ensured long-term success. While some teams wasted millions on overpriced stars who failed to deliver, this club mastered the art of value. Their transfer strategy was precise, targeting players with the perfect blend of talent, potential, and hunger. Instead of short-term signings, they made investments that would pay off for years. Rivals were left scrambling to keep up, realizing too late that this club wasn't just building a great team, they were building a football empire. The rivalries reignited, old foes, new battles. Success comes with enemies, and as this club rose, so did the intensity of its rivalries. Once dismissed as an afterthought, they were now a legitimate threat to the traditional powerhouses. Matches that were once routine became fiery, unpredictable battles, filled with drama, controversy, and unforgettable moments. The league's biggest clubs suddenly had a new challenger, one that didn't fear their reputation. The football world thrives on rivalries, and this club wasn't just winning games. They were making enemies and cementing their place at the top. So to the doubters, keep doubting. To the haters, keep hating. But to the believers, you're witnessing history. The giant is awake, and English football may never be the same again. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rise of this footballing giant, don't forget to smash that like button. It helps us bring you more top-tier football content. Got thoughts on this club's dominance? Drop a comment below. Are they the next big dynasty, or will they fade away? Let's hear your predictions. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the biggest football stories around the world.